Limehead Radio.
Smith Radio's single Ha Ha Song was a best-selling single on iTunes Indie Rock Song chart for quite a considerable amount of time after its release in November 2016. How much of its success would you credit to social media?
I think pretty much all of it. That my fans really rallied and downloaded the song. There was a big awareness out there. I did a big PR campaign for it, and they're just the best fans in the world. So yeah, I had every confidence that it was going to sell well.
Excellent. They are a really good bunch of people, and they've been contacting us daily. They're so excited about all the new stuff that you're going to be releasing soon, hopefully.
Yeah, once they're in your life, they're in your life forever. Right? Is that the quote? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously that it's a worldwide audience you've got, so I don't think you'd struggle to find any destination to play gigs or anything. Have you got any plans to go on tour?
We're making plans now. The thing that's holding up any kind of announcement is, I told my team to construct a tour, a European tour, and keep us in Europe for a long time. We want to hit
awesome.
every single country. So that could be 6 months, it could be a year. So the logistics of that and the planning of that are taking some time in the negotiating process. So yeah. I'll announce something when there's something to announce.
Oh, wow, that's excellent. I'm sure I'll definitely be coming down to see one of your gigs. I think it'll be great.
Oh, it'll be great, yeah.
So, Ha Ha Song was released on your own label, Blind Horse Records, and we at Limehead absolutely love that because we're all about grassroots musicians finding their own way in the industry. Would you give any advice to any aspiring musicians who are trying to find success?
Yeah, I just think write what you love, and it's really just about songwriting, and just continue to write and perfect your songwriting, and remain open and vulnerable to whatever comes up. Don't edit yourself in the writing process. Just let whatever wants to come out. And not all songs are going to be appropriate for you to perform, but maybe you can sell one, and who knows? I mean, I've got a lot of songs like that. But yeah, just keep at it and perform live as much as you can, and just keep writing. Because look, if you can write nice songs, everything else is going to take care of itself.
Excellent.
You don't have to worry about it. Yeah,
and it's something that you've been doing for a while, isn't it?
Well, yeah, since I was a little kid. I've been writing songs for a long, long time. And, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I'm a little bit obsessed with it. And I love, great songwriters. So I study them. I listen to their work. I try to figure out their tricks. And, there's some really ingenious people out there that have been writing great songs. And, there's a real... there's a lot of art, but there's also a lot of sort of, formula to it, too, at times. But you just really have to stay true to who you are and what your sound is and what your voice is, and not edit it and not try to sound like somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. I think that's some sound advice, to be honest.
Yeah.
So 2016 was an awesome year for Smith Radio. What does 2017 look like for you guys?
Well, we're going to play Rachel Ray's South by Southwest feedback party on March 18th. So
awesome.
The single drops, Forgotten Hero drops on the 17th. We're going to be on an airplane heading to Austin, Texas to do the South by Southwest Music Festival and play at Rachel Ray's feedback party Saturday night, March 18th at 9:30 p.m. So we're very excited for that. We're rehearsing a lot for that. I'm continuing to write new material and, introducing it to the band, and, we'll just see how it goes.
Excellent. Well, we're all looking forward to that, definitely.
Yeah.
So, the new single, talking about it there, Forgotten Hero, like you said, it's going to be released on the 17th of March. It's a slightly different style and vibe to Ha Ha Song, and I understand that some of the proceeds are going to charity. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, I was reading a bunch of articles on ex-military guys, and even, lay people who were suffering from post-traumatic stress, whether it be from, abusive relationships or, what have you, or whether they had served in the military and they came back and they weren't adjusting well to civilian life, and people were killing themselves. And it just moved me to the point where I wrote a couple of songs about what it must be like to come home and not be appreciated and feel alienated and get to that decision of taking your own life or even contemplating it. So I wrote a couple of songs. Forgotten Hero is one of those songs, and it doesn't only apply to ex-military. It applies to any man or woman who feels this way and needs help. So I thought maybe, if somebody heard this song, maybe they would seek help or they would talk to somebody about it not take their own life, because it just seems so tragic and so pointless to me that, if you reach out, if you help people, maybe you can make a little bit of a difference. So some of the proceeds for the sale of the hoodie, the really wonderful, classy, smart, snappy hoodie that I offer on the band site, SmithRadioBand.com/store, and the portions of the profits from that are going to go to a PTSD charity that we are still sort of naming. We might donate to a few of them. We might donate to one, but also proceeds from the song are going to go right to charity as well. So we're hoping that the fan base supports it.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's really totally commendable what you guys are doing with that. And I know there's a lot of people, whether it be in America or over here in the UK, I think it's something that will resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a problem, It's a real problem in this day and age. Everybody's sort of being, I don't know, just either bullied or what awful experiences they are having. Maybe they can listen to this song and gain some strength from it. So if they feel that I am responding to them and I'm listening and I care, maybe that can lead to other people listening and caring as well. So.
Great. Well, that's a nice sentiment, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. So, as you have such a phenomenal following online with the Smith Radio Army, we wanted to give them the chance to put their questions to you. So here's a couple of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so these all came in through Twitter. So at Laurie Kransky, she asks, providing you have any downtime at all, because I know you're a busy guy, besides motorcycles, what have you been up to? And she suggested kickboxing.
No, I actually don't do either anymore.
No?
I just don't have time to ride, and I don't have time to kick. I'm too busy writing and rehearsing, So, I'm still kicking ass. I'm just not kicking it literally.
That's excellent. That's great to hear, though. At Smith Radio Fan, she's asking, as far as buildings or venues go, which would be the number one on your bucket list?
Oh, God. I just have this fantasy of playing Wembley Stadium.
Really?
I really do.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
I want to fill that place with 100,000 people and just have the band go nuts. I really do. I'm a little crazy. I think big, but I'm going to get there. I do want to stand in that stadium.
Hey, the phrase is go big or go home, isn't it, really?
It's go big or go home. Yeah, it really is. I told the band, and they just sort of smiled at me like, okay, Scott, yeah.
Have you ever been to a gig at Wembley?
No, I have not. No.
Oh, it's an awesome experience that, especially when the crowd are behind you. Like, obviously, I've been to a few gigs myself, and it's epic. I'm sure if you ever get there, and I'm sure you will, you'll have a great time.
Well, I'm watching, I watch a lot of concerts on off of YouTube, and I watch concerts from Manchester. I watch them at Twickenham. I watch them from Wembley Stadium, and the fans are just great. God, the way they respond to bands is just phenomenal.
And especially your fans as well, I bet.
Oh man, I tell you what, it would be a blast. So yeah, I have this fixation on Wembley Stadium. I don't know why, but I just Well, I explained to you why.
Yeah. You need to have those goals, so I'm sure you're going to hit them, definitely.
Yeah, I want that poster in my office, Smith Radio at Wembley Stadium.
Excellent. Patricia Milton asks, what's a Smith Radio rehearsal like? What do you guys get up to?
We put earplugs in and we turn the volume up.
Up to 11?
Yeah, it's a big sound, so, we need our in-ears in. We work hard. We're in there all day and all night. We're working hard, and it's a lot of stopping and starting and small adjustments for the first couple of hours, especially if I introduce a new song. But these guys get things very quickly. But what I love about it so much is the open interaction and the feedback that everybody that has about arranging a song or a particular point in the song where we want to do this or we want to go a little softer here, a little harder there. It's a lot of that. So it's really just sort of adjusting a song and layering a song sonically, and that's really the work that is to be done. Because you hand the charts out and they play them, no problem. But it's really just the time we put in is about sort of sonically layering a song.
Yeah.
So it has the most impact.
Do you guys ever get a chance to goof off a little?
Well,
Or do you not want to talk about that on the radio?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we kind of do sometimes.
Hey,
but,
you're all friends at the end of the day, aren't you? I mean, that's what it's all about, making music and having fun.
Well, look, I mean, I'm not saying that I did this, that I put Vaseline on the toilet seat and that the drummer fell in and got stuck. I'm not saying that happened, but it could have.
Excellent, that's so great to hear. Awesome.
And I'm not saying that I ever nailed the keyboard player's shoes to the floor when he was taking a break and that he couldn't get them off the floor and didn't understand why and fell over. I'm not saying that happened, but it could have.
I think that's the part that Patricia really wanted to hear there. So at K Gibson 97315, she wants to know, who would you love to have open for one of your shows?
Open?
Yeah.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Anyone in the world?
Anyone? Who would I want to open for me?
Yeah.
Or me open for them?
No. Who would you want to have as your support band?
Oh my God. Jesus. Well, I don't. The bands. I don't want to insult anybody because they're much bigger bands than me.
I'm sure they'd like it anyway.
All right. Right now. Okay. Here's the lineup. It's two bands.
Okay.
I would have Patti Smith open.
Oh,
I would
awesome.
have Noel Gallagher second, and then we would come on.
Awesome. That sounds like a show I'd definitely want to go to.
I'd actually be in the audience for that, and then I'd go up on stage, and then I'd apologize to the audience, saying, "Listen, we should have been opening for these people."
At Grace Miles 10 says she can't wait to hear Forgotten Hero, and she was wondering, why did you decide to release that one next?
Well, because we have a lot of hard rock and great songs, classic rock, big arena sound songs that are on the EP. We have 4 of them. And I just decided for a little change of pace, let's go a little more socially conscious and change it up a little bit, And I think it's it's just a more serious song. It's a little bit of a change of pace, and I just wanted to get it out there. I wanted to get this out there and see what a song could really, truly do. I mean, if Ha Ha affected so many people around the world in a positive way, then maybe this song can affect, people in a positive way as well that are struggling with this issue. And not that I'm, going to do this on every song, but I just think, in this age of activist entertainers and activist musicians, I think it's important to join the family and contribute a little bit. It's almost like this is paying your dues a little bit, and letting people know that we're a band that thinks about this stuff and cares, because we do.
Yeah.
We really, really do. I was lucky enough that I didn't have to serve in any wars. I can't even imagine how challenging that must be. And I don't think these guys get enough credit. And I don't think people that get pushed around or bullied or anything like that. Actually, a friend of mine, Ben Cohen, who lives in London, who was a big rugby player at one point, and I think he's a little bit famous in your country.
He is, yeah.
And all over Europe, is doing a campaign, an anti-bullying campaign. And I just admire him, and I just think he's such a great guy. And I've helped him out with his cause as well. But Ben inspired me somewhat to release this song as well, through how he's giving back, and I just think it's important that you give back a little bit. I've been very lucky, I've been very fortunate, and a lot of people out there aren't as fortunate, and they could use a helping hand. So that's really it's just a little bit of a helping hand, and like letting people know that somebody cares, and we're here to help you.
I think that's awesome. That's really cool. And like we touched upon earlier, a lot of people do suffer with the, PTSD. And if you've got if you've got a platform, you might as well use it to good, really, hadn't you? Well, sure. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's just kind of silly not to, reach out. It's a different world today. It's not the early 70s anymore where people are running around trashing hotel rooms and. It's changed. So, we're honored to be able to join that family of bands that are socially active. So, yeah. Excellent. Okay, so at Louise Borg, she says, or asks, if you're in the car and the radio suddenly breaks, what song would you sing?
man. Gosh. Anything Oasis, anything Noel Gallagher, anything Beatles, anything Led Zeppelin, anything. Notice these are all British bands.
I had noticed that.
Anything Rolling Stones, anything James Gang, anything Aerosmith, anything Steppenwolf, Bad Company. There's a lot.
There's a lot, definitely. There's a lot on the internal jukebox.
There's so much.
At Mag Steenkamp, she says, you've said in previous interviews that you and your son play music together. So what's your go-to song that you would play with your son?
Well, listen, I just hand him a guitar. He's not even 3 years old yet, so he just takes the guitar and he takes a pick. He always wants the pick, he wants the green pick, and he starts hammering away at the guitar, which I've tuned to an E chord for him. So I can stand it, because he just hammers away. And he just sort of sings along. He imitates me. It's the cutest thing in the world. I just sit there and laugh and laugh and laugh. And he's a constant joy. And he's sort of getting the structure now. He's sort of singing a full song now. He puts on little performances for me.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's just... it's the best thing. It's a great way to start your writing session with my son.
I can imagine. He sounds really cute.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
At Quantum Girl 84, she says, do you sing in the shower like us normal folk? And if you do you sing your own songs or someone else's?
I sing so often and for so long during the day and at rehearsal that when I get in the shower, I don't really want to sing. I just want to be quiet.
Yeah.
And rest my voice. I might hum along or sort of have a melody line in my head, but I'm not really singing it out,
That's like your chill area, is it?
Yeah. I stay in there for half an hour.
I don't blame you.
That's my spa, as it were. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. At Jersey Girl 582, she says, are there any bands or artists that you'd hope to work with someday?
All of them. I really wanted to work with Bowie. Love Bowie. Yeah. Bowie was always above I don't know, he was just a cut above for me.
Yeah.
Growing up, he just seemed like an alien, just somebody who was above it all and that was in his own category. I considered him to be on the level of, the Beatles, with what he did to music.
Yeah, definitely.
How he made it grow. I'm a huge Oasis fan. I'm a huge Noel Gallagher fan. I'm a huge Paul McCartney fan. A huge Patti Smith fan. I love songwriters. I love songwriters. And I love songwriters that are true to themselves, and that appreciate how to structure a song and take great pains to do that. Because there's a real craft to it, and a lot of people just instinctively can do it, and other people learn it, and they figure out how to do it. I just love songwriters. I love great songs, and Bowie and Noel and Paul and Patti and amongst many others have that ability. Elton John, my God, these people are just brilliant songwriters, and I love them. I love them.
Awesome. So I've just got one more fan question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Great. So this one is from S Patterson fan, and she's saying, going back to 1 year ago, if you knew then what you knew now, would you do anything differently?
No.
No?
No. Things are, I've hatched a lot of schemes and plans in my life to take over the world, and they have all failed. Except for this one.
And it seems to be going pretty well at the moment.
Listen, I saw an opportunity in terms of PR related to what I was doing before in June of 2016, and I seized the moment. And I thought, I have 1 million songs. This might be the last chance that I have to get them out and share them with the world and to tour. And I just put the pedal to the metal, and I formed yet another band, and we practiced. We went to the East Coast last summer. We did 3 benefit shows. We came back to California. We rehearsed, and released the song and got a the Ha Ha song got a big PR push, and we went to #1. And that was November 23rd. Within hours of that song being released, we were at #1. And I thought, you know what? This is going to work. Because I had the fan support, I had these awesome fans. And they were getting in touch, and they were reaching out, and they were asking what they could do to help promote. And now we see what it's become. So, I'm very proud to be associated with them, and I cannot wait to meet them and rock them out live. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to meet them all of the European fans in Wembley Stadium.
In Wembley, woohoo!
And let's say, I don't know, maybe not this summer, but next summer.
No, that's a great thing to reach for, though, isn't it, really?
Well, I'm going to get there, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Excellent. I mean, I've got a couple of the girls from the Smith Radio Army on my Facebook, just on a personal level, and
Right.
my feed is constantly... It's saturated with Smith Radio. They are like the most epic fans. I mean, like, that's why we've got you on the radio, on the show now, is because they've been so epic, haven't they?
Oh, they're incredible. They're absolutely relentless and incredible and dedicated, and I owe them everything. And they're going to get everything. I'm writing these songs for them, and I want to play for them, and I want to meet them. And it's just... it's exceeded my expectations to date. So I want to keep it going, and these fans are so great. Every morning I spend doing interviews for global radio stations, and it's because of the fan-generated interest. And it's just, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. So hats off to them, and this is all happening because of them. I mean, if not for them, I'm not talking to you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, lovely. So we're just going to finish the interview now with some quick-fire questions. Okay. So all I want you to do is say the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Great. They're not too bad, I promise.
All right.
Okay, so what's one thing you can't live without?
My guitar.
Okay, so now that you and I are best mates, Scott, if we
Yeah.
had matching tattoos, what would they be?
An Iroquois symbol, a traditional Iroquois symbol tattooed on your right shoulder.
On the right shoulder. That's very specific.
It is very specific.
So, what does love sound like to you?
What does love sound like to me?
Mm-hmm.
The sound of my son's voice.
Oh, that's beautiful. What was the last song that you listened to?
My own song that I wrote Friday night and finished Saturday morning, and it's my best song. I've never written a song that beautiful and that moving, and I'm very excited to share that song with the fans. And I just finished it Saturday morning, and I called my manager and I said, "This is the one," and he goes, "Okay." So,
excellent. Well, we look forward to hearing that one.
We'll probably perform it in South by Southwest as well.
And at Wembley, of course.
Yeah, of course.
What was the last full album that you listened to?
It was Horses. Actually, no. It was, the last full album was, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants.
Okay, so if Joni Mitchell, Paul Weller and Spider-Man came to your house for dinner, what would you cook them?
Gosh. Well, I mean, I'd probably cook chicken and fish, because that's all I cook. I make a mean salmon, and I make a nice chicken, I tell you.
Well, let's hope none of them are vegetarians, eh?
Oh, no, they'd be fine. There's plenty of vegetables. And, I'll tell you what, if Paul Weller walked into my house, I'd cook him anything he wanted.
If you could time
That's
warp...
another guy I listen to. That's a great songwriter right there.
Paul Weller.
That guy, he's genius. Genius.
He is great, isn't he?
Paul Weller is greatness. Yes, absolutely. Because he took the blues and he made it his own. It doesn't sound like anybody else, and I love him for that. What he did, how he styled that, it's so him,
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, we knew you were a big fan. We knew that you were a big fan of Paul Weller, so I thought I'd put that one in there for you.
And Joni Mitchell as well. I grew up with her. I mean, she influenced me a lot. And I haven't mentioned her enough, but she was a big influence on me. And she got me through some hard times. I mean, I listened to her all growing up. Brilliant singer-songwriter. Brilliant.
If you could time warp to any point in history, when would it be, and who would you hang out with?
I would probably go back to the 1870s.
Okay.
Paris, and hang out with Rimbaud.
And what would you do?
Oh, we'd probably drink a lot of absinthe and write a lot of poetry and have a lot of laughs and sort of urinate in public and that kind of thing.
Oh,
He's my
classy.
kind of guy. But I would want to go back as a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, just like he was at the time. So,
Awesome. Okay, Now I've got a couple of random ones for you now, okay?
right.
If you could swim in any liquid, what would it be and why?
I want to say, liquid. Jesus, I don't know.
Beer?
No.
Custard?
No. 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 I think I'd like to swim in. This is gonna sound really weird.
It's a weird question.
It's a strange question. I like the question. But I think I'd like to swim in purified water with psyllium husks in them.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Now, this next question, I'll tell you my answer before you give yours, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so what's your favourite sound? My favourite sound is...
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I practice that a lot.
That's great. My favorite sound is, I got to go back to my son. My son's laugh.
No, that's cool.
He's joyful, which is all the time, when he's giggling and laughing.
No, that's cool. If you
Number
could bottle
two would
that.
be the sound of 100,000 people singing back a chorus to my song.
Oh, that would
my
be
second
awesome.
favorite sound.
That would be totally epic, wouldn't it?
At Wembley Stadium, yeah.
And then last but not least, and there's only one correct answer for this, Scott, okay?
Okay.
What's your favourite radio station?
Oh, absolutely, Limehead Radio.
Yay!
There's no question about it. Growing up, I listened to Limehead. I don't know how I did it, but I know I did it.
Back in the days before the internet.
Absolutely. You guys have always been a great influence on me.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Scott.
You're very welcome, Rachel.
You've been awesome. No, but it's been a real pleasure, honestly. Thank you very much.
Rachel, it's a pleasure, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Oh, hopefully, yeah, definitely. And I'll keep my fingers crossed, and I wish every success to you in the band.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, my darling, you take care.
Limehead Radio.